Good evening, everyone. Today, I want to talk about guilt and worry. Guilt, as far as I'm concerned, deals with an event that happened in the past. Guilt comes from caring about another person who was also involved in the situation. Guilt can actually come from a lot of factors. Guilt can come from your parents. It can come from your school. Almost every single everyday action, there can be some guilt evolved from it, or guilt can be produced from it. For example, if your parents ask you to do something, you could actually say no because because you have the will to say no to their asking. But then they will go by their "I sacrificed for you," claiming that they did X and Y and Z for you, and that you should follow or do what your parents say because they did X, Y, and Z for you. But I'm telling you, straight up, they don't make you feel guilty. You can choose to feel guilty. It also makes you aware of how much they really have done for you. And that will imply you to actually be less selfish. But I'm not going to get too sidetracked. Guilt, I was going back to my previous statement, guilt comes from a past event. Guilt is, if you feel guilty about a certain event that happened between you and one or two or three persons, you obviously care for those three persons, and that's okay to care. It's absolutely okay for you to care. But you shouldn't feel guilty about what happened. I'm not saying it's not okay to feel guilty. I mean, if it's a negative situation, you obviously can feel guilty from it. No doubt about it. But I'm saying your guilt is not going to change anything. Your guilt is not going to change everything that's going on right now. Take this time now and learn from your mistakes. Learning from your mistakes and feeling guilty is not the same thing. You're feeling guilty right now. You are immobilized, regretting past actions, regretting past phrases that you've said. Learning from your mistakes is really moving on. Learning from your mistakes means you've always looked in the past, you've said in your mind, alright, this happened, how I moved from it. That is your ticket to mobilization. That is your ticket to getting over it and into the present. Now let's talk about worry, which goes into the future. Worry comes from fear. Worry is about fear of what could happen in the future. I'll tell you straight up, there is nothing to worry about. The stuff that you're worrying about right now may not even happen. Worry actually can come from a past event. Going back to it, because whatever happened in the past can very well affect your future. but you don't know what the future can hold. The future is a mystery. The future is something that you can't predict. All you can do is plan for the future. Planning for the future and worrying about the future are completely different. Worrying about the future, again, you are immobilized. You're probably sitting there worrying about your text the next day, worrying about your date that you may have with a girl. Planning for the future is about moving forward. What you do in the present, planning for the future, planning for your next day of life, is the key of mobilization. So what I'm trying to say is, guilt and worry are useless emotions that you should have less time for. If it's okay to feel guilty about a past situation, just learn from your mistakes. Whenever you're in that past situation, be like, alright, I feel bad with the situation, but what happened happened. I can't let this past haunt me. I just gotta move on. There's nothing I can do to change it. And with worry, you shouldn't worry too much. It's okay to worry, but not much. Worry prevents you from taking risk. Worry prevents you from planning about the future. Planning for the future is moving forward. Planning for the future is about preparation for what's coming next. In short, learn from your mistakes, focus on today, and while continuing to learn from those mistakes, prepare for the future. Thank you all very much for hearing me out, and I will see you all again next week.